Since I last visited the fantastic National Museum of Horse Racing here in Newmarket, quite a lot has changed. It's now an established part of the community and it has an ever-changing roster of exhibitions and ex-racehorses. It's also now the home to the Hall of Fame. A couple of the most recent inductees are Dancing Brave and the one and only Frankie Dettori. The National Horseracing Museum has celebrated the sport's history since 1983, but in 2016 it moved to the current facilities at Palace House, the remains of King Charles II's sporting palace. It's now home to a range of exhibits, some of them hundreds of years old. Interactive in places, the sport's long history in the UK and overseas is charted in a range of galleries, which also delve into horse welfare, breeding and rehoming. One of the best things about the museum is that it's ever-changing, and the latest addition is the Hall of Fame. Set up by the British Champion Series, its inductees are voted on by the public, and so far include Her Majesty the Queen, Lester Piggott, Frankie Dettori and Dancing Brave.
It only opened on Thursday evening. It had been just online, and the initial inductees, I believe, were done last year. And then this year they inaugurated Dancing Brave and Frankie Dettori. So Frankie was here and the team from Juddmonte were here on Thursday evening to receive their awards and do the unveiling.
Since moving to the new site, a stone's throw from Newmarket High Street, the museum has become a hub of the community, with a cafe, restaurant and shop free to visit.
Certainly that's been what we've been sort of trying to achieve. I mean, we offer free entry for all stable staff and stud staff. They can come. We also implemented an annual pass so that for a one-off day admission you actually can return as many times as you like over the course of 12 months. And again, the admission prices were reduced just again to sort of try and encourage certainly people that are maybe struggling a little bit, but to be able to come and see what's happening. We're trying to put on lots of community events, the changing exhibitions. So basically the idea is that it is a community hub and you can come, drop in, have a coffee, visit the new exhibitions, have a wander around and just sort of, you know, really use it as a home from home almost.
A big part of the museum is devoted to art, and some famous names will have their work displayed there in the coming months.
We've got a fantastic exhibition opening on the 24th of May in the Moller Gallery, which is Sir Alfred Munning's A Life of His Own. So that's going to be pretty special. Then following that, we've got quite an exciting museum and a little bit something different for here. A lady called Jane Odell, who's a photographer, and she's been particularly in Charlie Fellows and I believe William Haggis's yard doing black and white photography. And so she's got an exhibition which opens here in July and that will run till the end of the year. And that was very much sort of trying to get the stable staff to engage more with the museum, because obviously it's all about them. It's pictures of them, it's pictures of, you know, the horses in their working environment and that kind of thing. And then going forward to next year, there's hopes that we're going to have a Banksy exhibition. So yeah, we're linking up with Moyses Hall in Bury St Edmunds. And there's a gentleman called John Brandler who they did it last year in COVID and they had an amazing show and they want to do it again, so they very kindly linked up with us. So from June of next year it will be here.
The museum is far from just static, however. The stable yard is a busy one, with an ever-changing roster of ex-racehorses looked after by Sue Malloy and her team. One of the pupils at the time of our visit was the flashy Paintball Wizard and rider Zoe, who had recently finished his stint at the museum.
He only left last week. He went off to Zoe, who's got him now, having been here for just over a couple of months, starting his retraining. And hopefully Zoe tends to do more dressage with her horses, but he'll do a little bit of everything and she's keen to bring him here. We have lots of coaches that hire the arena, doing all sorts, pole work, dressage, show jumping, but you can hire it privately as well. But Zoe's done today just to get him back here first before she starts doing more things with him.
Retraining of racehorses, which runs the yard at Palace House, is keen to stress that all off-track thoroughbreds need a good home, not just the successful ones. They include this guy, 0 from 13 during his racing career.
Naturally, those ones are the more important ones to sort of retrain and get out into the sports and leisure world to do something else. So Paintball Wizard is an example of that. He loved to go to the races and go for a party, but he didn't want to run fast and win races. And to be fair, the vast majority of the ones that we have in to sort of showcase retraining of racehorses are the ones that didn't really do that well in racing. They might have raced a few times, but you know, they weren't the really top names. They're the really important ones, as I say, to find new homes.
So whether it's the history of racing you want to know more about, or to look to the future for some whose racing days are done, stop by Palace House next time you're in Newmarket. You won't regret it.